by Charlie Chaplin, Mary Pickford, Douglas Fairbanks and D.W. Griffith.
United Artists.
Correct. Derek. If groups of women are called sweet Adelines, what are similar groups of men called?
Pass.
David?
Pass as well.
The answer, barbershop quartets, singers. Your question. James Buchanan was the only bachelor to hold, and we're out of time, to hold which high office? President of the United States of America. Derek obviously was about to give us an answer we'd rather not have had. And then at the end of that round, they've scored 5. Well done, the Rose. Let's move across then to the opposition. It's the Wheat Sheaf. 100 seconds for your side, David. We will start with Brian, and your time starts now. What's the SI unit of electrical resistance?
An ohm.
Is correct. David, the Broncos are the football team of which American city?
Buffalo.
No, it's Denver. Leslie, which author wrote 7 children's books set in the land of Narnia?
Pass.
Fine. C.S. Lewis. Who wrote the book Castaway, about her experiences on a desert island, and its sequel, Runaway?
Pass. Lucy Irving.
Correct, David. And your question. What do historians call the tax levelled in Anglo-Saxon England to buy off Danish invaders in the 10th and 11th centuries?
Steingeld.
Correct. Leslie. When Jane Fonda played Barbarella in a 1968 film, who was the director and also her husband?
Roger Vadim.
Is correct, yes. Brian, what was found in the Comstock lode in Nevada in 1859?
Gold.
No, it was silver. David, who was Prime Minister when the First World War began in 1914?
Pass.
Leslie?
Balfour.
No, it was Asquith. Your question. What was reputed to be the unusual home of St. Simeon Stylites for over 30 years of his life?
Cave.
No, it was the top of a pillar for 37 years. Your question, Brian. Which town is capital of Macedonia in Yugoslavia and suffered a severe earthquake in 1963?
Salonika.
No, it was Skokie. David. Which superhero of the comics was first Dick Grayson, then Jason Todd?
Oh, Robin.
Yes, Batman's sidekick. Leslie. Which character died in the film The Blue Lamp but was revived for a successful career on television?
Dixon of Dock Green.
Is correct. Brian. Which cathedral was until 1548 when its spire collapsed in a storm? No time to finish off. The tallest building in Britain. It was the Lincoln, but a very good start. The Wheat Sheaf score 11. And at the end of round 1, 6 points separating the sides, but in the lead on 11, the Wheat Sheaf. Both side now takes a shot in the dark. The quiz night computer selects a letter from the phrase shot in the dark. The letter then relates to a subject, and the side has 5 questions to answer on that subject, 3 points for each correct answer, and they can also confer. Opposition can also confer and pick up a bonus point. The Rose go first, and here for you is the phrase. And the letter chosen is an R, and it's on the RAF. Were you ever in it, Derek?
Nope.
No.
I was in the Boy Scouts.
Close, and we'll see how that helps you out then. 5 questions, this is your first one. What's the Latin motto of the RAF?
Per agio ad astra.
Is correct. Through hardship to the stars gets you 3 points. Where in Berkshire is the RAF Staff College for training selected senior officers?
Cranwell.
No, it's not. The Wheat Sheaf, a bonus point. No,
No answer.
it's actually in Bracknell. Nobody picking up any points. Your third question. As well as the Skyguard radar defense system, the RAF is equipped with 2 kinds of missile. Name either.
Rapier.
Is correct, or you could have had Bloodhound. I get you 3 points. Your fourth question. What's the only record by the RAF band, A March by Eric Coates, which made the top 20?
Den Bus is not.
Yes, correct for another 3. And your fifth and final question on the RAF. Which RAF man won both the London Marathon and the American Marathon in Chicago in 1985, taking under 2 hours, 8 minutes for the American one?
Steve Jones.
Steve Jones is correct, and that's very good scoring. 4 out of 5, 12 points for the Rose. Good start in this round for the Rose. Let's see how the Wheat Sheaf do. The phrase shot in the dark is yours, and it's a letter S, and it's on schools. Should know something about them, because presumably you all went to one.
Long time since.
Your first question, then. In the 1930s, Kurt Hahn left Nazi Germany and set up which well-known school in Scotland?
Gordonston.
Gordonston, correct, for 3. Second question. In which book may you read about Do the Boys Hall and its headmaster, Wackford Squeers?
Nicholas Nickleby.
Correct, for another 3. Third question. Which famous public school did Byron, Sheridan, Churchill, and 7 other prime ministers attend?
Harrow.
Yes, for another 3. Going well, your fourth question. What are Old Boys of Winchester School called after the founder?
Wycomist.
Correct, for another 3. And your fifth and final question. Which public school in Kent did Princess Anne attend in the 1960s?
Benenden.
Is correct. Leslie, hot on that subject. 5 out of 5 and 15 points. Both teams scoring very highly there. The Rose on 17 now, the Wheat Sheaf on 26. Good place to take a break. Join us, please, for part 2 of Quiz Night.
Right, I'm going to get Grandma now. Try and keep them clean, please.
Okay, don't. Boys. Is that top on properly, Kate? That's enough. It's only an accident. Hands up.
Sorry.
Come on then, put your shirt on. Yeah. Excuse me. That's it.
Daddy's here.
Hello, darling.
Come on, Grandma.
Everything okay?
Yeah, I've even done the washing.
Washing? What washing?
Percy, it's one of the family. Can Harry tell cream from Elm Lee? Of course he can't. But most cat owners can't tell the difference between cream and Elm Lee either.
Anytime you choose, take off your shoes, rescue with the eyes, or catch up with the news. Our favorite book will be our perfect company to rely. Forget about the mood you're doing fine. Leave your cares and worries behind. Loosen up your tie, watch the world speed by. Relax.
Welcome back to Quiz Night tonight. A team from Bedford and a team from Newport in Gwent. And the Wheat Sheaf from Newport Gwent. David, now, every other week you've been on, you've been telling us you're a working farmer. Tonight, you announced you were just a farmer. Does this mean you're unemployed now?
No, I was just getting so much stick about it.
Really? What's the difference then?
Well, a working farmer means if there's a job to be done, you go out and do it yourself. You don't tell anybody else.
All right,
You gotta
then.
do it yourself.
Oh, I see. So does that leave you much time then for genning up in all the questions and things?
Well, that's one thing with a lot of tractor work. Radio on,
And that's it?
and you're surprised in the facts you pick up.
Really? The Rose, how do you then pick up all your information?
You're just brainy, that's why.
And
Usually by the handles at the side.
and incredibly modest too. Let's move on then. Recap of the scores. The Rose on 17, but in the lead on 26, the Wheat Sheaf. Round 3, captain's call. The captain's only answering here. They have their fingers on the buzzers, but the teams can confer. 3 sets of 4 clues, all relating to a well-known person, place, event, or year. If the teams get it on the first clue, 4 points is theirs. 3 points in the second clue, 2 in the third, and 1 on the fourth. There's also a link between all 3 answers. If they spot the link, they've got another 3 points. Both clear in that. Johnny and David, we will start with your first set of clues, and 4 points available if you can tell me the answer to this. This European town became Habsburg property in 1963 under Duke Rudolph IV. So we're looking for a European town. European town became Habsburg property in 1963 under Duke Rudolph IV. As I always say, it is worth a guess. The Rose.
Luxembourg.
No, it wasn't. The Wheat Sheaf. No. I'm going to go for 3. It stands at 574 metres above sea level. The Rose?
Liechtenstein.
No. Bearing in mind it is a European town that we're looking for. The Wheat Sheaf? Have a guess.
Milan?
Nope. For 2 then. The German 19th Army surrendered here on the 5th of May 1945. The Wheat Sheaf?
Monte Cristo?
No, it wasn't. The Rose?
Lüneburg.
No. On we move then for 1. The town houses the unique mausoleum of Maximilian I. They went, ah, yes, that European town. The Wheat Sheaf?
Salzburg?
No, it wasn't. The Rose? Final guess for 1 point. Need to hurry you for a guess?
Munich.
No, it wasn't. It was Innsbruck. Second set of clues. Another 4 points up for grabs. In this year, the Queen opened the National Exhibition Centre in Birmingham. In this year. Queen opened the National Exhibition Centre in Birmingham. Wheat Sheaf?
1975?
No, it wasn't. The Rose?
1972.
No, it wasn't. For 3, the first women cadets were admitted to Dartmouth Naval College. The Rose and Johnny?
1976.
It was. Well in for 3 points. On we move then for 1 point, for 4 points, sorry, on the final set of clues. This musician was born in May 1949. This musician? Wheat Sheaf?
Stevie Wonder?
No, it wasn't. You having a guess, The Rose?
No, I don't think so.
No. For 3 then. He played on the 1973 album Sabbath Bloody Sabbath. The Wheat Sheaf?
Ozzy Osbourne?
No, it wasn't. The Rose? No. Move you on then for 2. After Hangman and the Papist, he left Straub's to join Yes. The Wheat Sheaf and David?
Rick Wakeman?
Rick Wakeman it was. So what is the connection? And it has to be pretty specific here between Innsbruck, 1976, and Rick Wakeman. The Rose?
Winter Olympics. You made you wrote the theme for the film, the Winter Olympics.
Need the name?
Winter Wonderland.
No. Can't pass that across, obviously, because you have almost spotted the connection, but I did say you had to be specific. White Rock. That was the name. Rick Whitman wrote, performed, and produced the music for the motion picture of the Innsbruck Olympic Games held in 1976. And the film was also called White Rock, so you could have had 2 stabs at it. But not to worry, at the end of the round, in the lead in 28, the Wheat Sheaf. Specialist time now. Each side has chosen which specialist subjects they would like to answer questions on, but they haven't chosen the specialist, because that's exactly what we do in just a moment's time. 5 questions on the subject, 3 points for each correct answer. Obviously no conferring when the specialist subject is addressed to the specific team, but 1 point bonus can be picked up by the opposition, and they can confer. The Rose, we will start with you, and it's science and technology. Which one will it be, though? Damon, Johnny, or Derek? Let's flash the lights and find out. And it's you, Johnny. 5 questions for you. This is the first. Which German professor announced his quantum theory in December 1900?
Max Planck.
Correct for 3. Which American inventor developed vulcanized rubber in 1841?
Don't know.
No, the Wheat Sheaf. You can confirm, pick up a bonus.
Charles Goodyear?
Charles Goodyear, the man with the famous name, gets you 1 bonus point. What name is given to a millionth part of a metre? What name is given to a millionth part of a metre?
A nanometer.
No, it's not, Johnny. Wheat Sheaf?
Micrometer?
No,
Or
it's not.
micron?
Well, yes, I will give it to you there, because you did give me another one there, the micron there. So we'll give you your 1 bonus point for that. On we go then with the 4th question. Which physicist law concerns tension in a fixed spring?
Hooke's law.
Is correct. Robert Hooke, 1635 to 1703, gets you 3. And your 5th and final question, going well, Johnny. What is the name given to the patina formed on copper when exposed to the atmosphere? What
Copper
is the-
sulfate.
No, it's not.
Copper carbonate.
No, it's verdigris. So no points there, but at the end of that, 2 out of 5 and 6 points for the Rose. Well done, Johnny. Well, over we go then to the Wheat Sheaf specialist round for you. You have chosen geography. Let's find out who's going to answer the 5 questions as we flash the lights now. Brian, David or Leslie? And it's a lady. Leslie, 5 questions for you. This is your first one. On which river does the city of Mandalay stand?
The Irrawaddy.
Correct for 3. What is the state capital of West Virginia?
Richmond. No. Can I change that? Charleston.
No, I'm sorry. I'd take your first answer. The Rose
Charlestown.
is correct. Unlucky in that one, but obviously you gave a full and complete answer there. Your third question. The Dead Sea is part of the border between Israel and where?
Jordan.
Is correct for 3. Your fourth question. What unit of currency is used in Poland?
Zloty.
Is correct for another 3. And your fifth question. Which is the largest and southernmost of the Mariana Islands? The largest and southernmost of the Mariana Islands.
No idea.
No. The Rose?
Guam.
Guam is correct, and another good bonus point for you. A good scoring there from Leslie. 3 out of 5 and 9 points. And at the end of the fourth round, they're still there in the lead. On 39, the Wheat Sheaf. Well, 11 points between the sides, but a lot of points can be won and lost also in this round. 2 points for correct answer, 2 points away if a wrong answer is given. All the very best sides, all fingers on the buzzers. We'll get through as many questions as we can. 2 for correct, 2 away for a wrong one. And we start with this question. Where would you find thongweed, furbelows, green lava, and kelp? The Rose and Johnny.
The sea.
Yes, I'll accept that. Beach or seaside, they're all seaweeds. Which Briton won the silver medal in the Seoul 1500 metres? And it's the Wheat Sheaf and Brian.
Peter Elliott.
Yes, in 4th and 800 metres. Which make of car finished 1st and 2nd in the 1989 Le Mans 24-hour? The Wheat Sheaf and David.
Porsche.
No, it wasn't 208, it was Mercedes-Benz. In the 1937 British film Victoria the Great, who played the title role? The Rose and Derek.
And an eagle.
Correct. And who played the title role in Victor Victoria in The Wheat Sheaf and Leslie?
Julie Andrews.
Yes, in 1982. Which British club signed Gary Lineker from Barcelona in... It's The Wheat Sheaf and David.
Tottenham.
Yes, in 1989. Which was the last port to return to work after the summer dock strike of 1980? The Wheat Sheaf and Brian.
Liverpool.
Yes, in 1989. What's the short name of the British charity, the National Association for Mental Health? The Rose and Johnny.
Mencat.
No, it's Mind. 2 away. Who was the Greek goddess of wisdom, equivalent? And it's the Wheat Sheaf and Leslie.
Athena.
Is correct, equivalent of the Roman Minerva. The film Sunset, about Tom Mix and Wyatt Earp, stars 2 actors probably more familiar on TV. Name either of them. No one buzzing? I will tell you. Bruce Willis and James Gardner. Whose law states bad money drives out goods? No one buzzing again? I will tell you. Gresham's Law. What's the medical name for the gullet? The Rose and Damon.
The esophagus.
Correct. Who wrote The Hired Man and The Maid of Buttermere, but is better known as presenter of The South Bank Show? The Rose and Johnny.
Melvin Bragg.
Correct. Which treaty signed in 1919 officially ended the first... The Rose and Johnny...
Versailles.
Yes, I'll accept that. Just in within the buzzer there. Well interrupted end of the First World War. But it doesn't affect the score because at the end, the winners on 47, it's the Wheat Sheaf. Well, congratulations. That's your final games in this round, the final games in all the heats here of Quiz Night. The Rose, you've enjoyed yourselves.
Thank you
Very much indeed.
No victories, but quite a few good points.
Yep.
Yep.
And also good personalities, so it's nice to have you along. Lads, the Wheat Sheaf, congratulations. A win.
Yes, very nice.
And back to the farm, is it?
Yes.
What time do you get up in the morning?
Well, 7, roughly.
7.
You haven't got too many cows to milk.
Oh my goodness me, well, not long until you've got to get back up again,
No,
so
that's
congratulations. Next week it is the 6th and final game in the heat, and that will be taking place between the Halfway House and the Chiltern View. Hopefully you can join us for that. We'll see you next week. That's it. Till the next night, it's good night from Quiz Night.
At 2:45, the Big Valley becomes a place of refuge for a Mexican patriot. And next, a race against time and a murder charge in I Spy.
Only the plumpest vegetables, generous helpings of spaghetti and delicious thick tomato sauce, dressing and mayonnaise made with a fair share of egg, rice pudding thick with soft-grained rice. Is it any wonder there's less room for calories? Weight Watchers from Heinz. Taste, not waste.
Now, more adventures for Bill Cosby and Robert Culp in I Spy.
Are you still looking for those physical balls?
Like I am. Look.